Well, after about a 4-hour drive today, I finally arrived at Lower Cathedral Valley, right on the outskirts of Capitol Reef National Park. Although you can drive to this area, it still has one of the most remote and primordial feelings of about any landscape you'll ever visit. I haven't seen another solo since I left the highway about 40 miles north of here. There's a good chance there's not another solo around me for about 300 square miles. The rock formation to the right is called Temple of the Moon, and the rock formation on the left is called the Temple of the Sun. These both make for great photographic opportunities. Unfortunately, the sun's getting pretty low in the sky. It's about to set behind the mesa, and so I'm going to have to run off to a different vantage point, leave the video camera behind, and get some photographs. Well, I've just about lost the light. There's just a little bit left over the Temple of the Sun. Normally I'd quit shooting at this time, but since it is called the Temple of the Sun and the Moon, I think I'll stick around for another hour, wait for it to get dark, and try to get some star trails over one of the temples. I've headed around to the other side of the Temple of the Sun in order to shoot it at night. Now the sun sets at the west, so when I'm shooting sunset, I want the sun to be behind me so that it illuminates the front of the temples. But the moon, when it comes out, will be a little bit on the eastern side of the sky. So I've come around to the other side of the temples, so the moonlight hits the face of the temples. The moon is basically my source of light at night, just like the sun is my source of night during the day. Normally I have to wait about an hour after sunset in order for it to get dark enough to shoot at night. Now I'm a bit of a workaholic, and I like to be productive during all hours of the day, so I'm going to do what I normally do when waiting for conditions to improve. It's starting to get dark, really too dark to record anything with this camera with any sort of quality. It's still not quite dark enough to shoot outside, but it's getting pretty close. Now for night shots, you generally want to use a lens that has the widest aperture possible, and by widest aperture I mean the smallest number aperture, like 2.8 or even 1.4 can be ideal. Also, I usually shoot film when shooting night shots because with digital you get just way too much noise when you do the long exposures. I do still mess around with some digital shots, and I actually have a lens for my digital camera that has an aperture of f1.4, which is really wide, so I can get some decent night shots without too much noise, but you always get the better quality with the film, so I always take one shot with the film, and then I have another tripod where I go around taking shorter shots with digital. I already have my film camera set up outside, and all I have to do when it gets dark enough is go out and trigger the cable release and lock it into place. This allows me to expose for as long as I want, from 1 minute up to 8 hours if I really wanted to. For this shot, I think I'll expose for about 1 hour. There is about a half a moon out, and I do have to be careful about overexposing the shot, as that is possible even at night. This is a bigger problem if there's a full moon, in which case there's going to be more light, and it's going to be easier to blow out the shot. With a half a moon, it's pretty difficult to do, but you can do it if you expose long enough. Long exposures can be advantageous at night because the stars have more time to move across the night sky, and therefore you get longer star trails in your shot. Now it looks like it's about dark enough outside, so I better get outside and start shooting. While I wait for the long exposure with my film camera to finish up, I'll take a lot of shorter shots with my digital camera. These shorter shots are more akin to astrophotography in that the stars will appear as points of light rather than as trails. This allows me to get two really different types of shots of a similar scene while I'm shooting at night. The stars are really just fascinating in the middle of Utah at night. There's no city lights around, and tons of stars just come out at night. Unfortunately, though, it has started to cloud up a little bit, so I think I'm going to cut the long exposure short and call it a night. I'll next be heading to Escalante, Utah. Cathedral Valley is located in south-central Utah near the northern end of the Colorado Plateau. Like every area of the Colorado Plateau, the scenery in this region is breathtaking and is unique in its own way. The area around Boulder, Utah boasts some impressive rock formations, including a remarkable balanced rock. And many of the eroded canyon walls have some of the most fascinating textures and patterns anywhere on the planet. A little ways to the south, in the northern reaches of Escalante National Monument, there are numerous spectacular slot canyons that a person can spend a lifetime exploring. go.